First thing is you got to find solutions in the running. And this is kind of what I'm talking about. And this is a one tape deal. We watched the tape of the Bears last week just beat the brakes off of the Chargers. So we know what they can do up front, but you have to find numbers and you have to just do the little details. So they run a bunch look here and they end up running a quarterback keep. So they have numbers, but they actually send the tight end backside like a split full look to hold the backside linebacker. So this is something you can just do a quick toss with. And again, this isn't something we'll probably run with Jordan Love, but you can run the quick toss and just keep them outside. The point is they have leverage here. If I show you this from this angle, you have outside leverage on all of these players. Like you have numbers, right? And of course, it's going to be a matter of aggression when up. You see Jack Campbell's in the middle because of the split flow. He just slightly hesitates, let that center get up just enough to get on him right there. He beats him across the face, but now you're talking about, maybe a 7 or 8 yard gain instead of a 3 or 4 yard gain. That's just the little details that are going to make a big impact on this matchup, because without Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon going downhill on these guys when they're pretty good at moving around on the line of scrimmage, it's going to be tough. We talked about it. Rookie kid from Iowa, man, check your chin strap, buckle up. Now the Bears coming out here, they're playing off 5 left and just coming downhill, and I love it. I'm all for it, right? I can't see enough of this. But I don't know if we have we certainly don't have a true fullback on the team right now that can go out and just butt heads. But these guys are ready to go. They play downhill. They're aggressive run defenders. You see both these guys are going to come up and just force the defense to make a decision, or excuse me, the offense to make a decision early. I actually think we have to use that to our advantage. How? Well, you see they run the option. Everybody crashes. The tackle's very easy for that tackle to pick up that defensive end. And now, look, honestly, he can go north or south right here. He's making that decision. He can try to break through Aiden Hutchinson's arm tackle, or he can go outside. But one way or another, you're picking up positive yards. This is a good play. Okay, and this is because how aggressive they play defense. They didn't spy Justin Fields. They just kept crashing and let him run the option. Like, they have a style that they're going to play, and they're just going to live with the results, because usually they outscore their opponent. They just figured, hey, listen, the Bears aren't going to pick up 5 yards at a time and actually make it all the way down to the other end zone. And I would imagine they're thinking the same thing about the Green Bay Packers. So let's take advantage of that aggressiveness a little bit. You see here, he's just crashing down on the read. They're full sell, absolutely full sell. All you got to do is get a hand on that linebacker, get north and south. And this is my thing. Like, why not us? And a package. I'm not talking about let's turn him into Justin Fields. Let's act like he can't execute the offense the way they're running now. I'm just saying, how many times have we watched the backside defensive end against the Green Bay Packers chase down the play, and you're looking at it like, man, why are we not pulling that ball? And you just see this game, they got a lot of yards just pulling north and south, right? He can stay up, get another 5 there. You see how aggressive they are here, coming downhill. Both linebackers, they want to play on your line of scrimmage. They want to create single blocks. They feel real good about Aleem McNeil inside. They feel obviously really good about Hutchinson. I've always been a big fan of Charles Harris. I know he's been dumped down to the depth chart a little bit, but then, obviously John Kaminsky does a really good job for them as well. So they've got guys that can play. They're very comfortable in their ability to win on the 1v1 battles. It's just a question to get them off 1v1 blocks, excuse me. So what's the big thing here? We got a fullback, and this is an interesting scheme. I actually wanted to show this because this is an interesting scheme. They're going to ask the center to reach the 2-eye, and they're actually going to slip the defensive end. They're going to leave 55 for the fullback. Now, back in the day with this kind of play, you would never do that because you're worried about 2 things: penetration on that 2-eye, on that center, and then you're also worried about 55 getting in the backfield and blowing up that fullback before you can get ahead of steam. But the Bears, we're all kind of, I think guys are like experimenting with eye backs again with fullbacks. And they don't really, I don't know if they do everything as sound as possible, because if you look at this, you either want to fan or you want to keep it inside with the chip and go up to the middle, 46 middle linebacker. But right now you're putting the center in a tough spot. He ends up getting beat across his face. They make a great cut, and then Aleem McNeil should have got a holding call here. But this is the kind of stuff. Backside, that kid from Tennessee, he gets the cutoff. He doesn't get the flag, and these are where the holes are in situations you're going to be really aggressive on play side with those linebackers. I think we need to extend the pocket. I think you need different launch points. And I think one thing that, just watching this Bears tape again, a sample size of really two. We watched the Chargers the week before, but they just went shotgun. When you think about having some anxiety about their pass rush versus our offensive line, one thing that I thought the Bears did a great job of is whether it was a wide receiver or a tight end, they're going to keep a guy in on the key passes to make sure that Hutchinson's accounted for, right? So they're going to usually this guy goes in the flat. You see him cut across split flow. You see him going in the flat right now. Well, they've created a situation where they can take the tight end, send him to the flat. They really want Hutchinson on the floor. They really want to take their shot. They think that he's just going to run up the field and make plays. So it gives you an opportunity now for Justin to get outside of the hash. Now I'm thinking about this in context to Jordan Love, and they're running the deep crosser with the go route up top. And as soon as that safety's deep enough in a zone, we can just settle this down. He doesn't need to keep running across the field. He can stop right now. You don't need to run into the next zone. Just slow down. This is kind of what we're talking about as far as details matter, but you can just slow this down, sit down, not take a shot, and really easy throw and catch here. They end up completing this ball. He takes a shot at the end. Now, you don't even need to take that shot at the end. And this is the take the space idea because these guys really do play hard on the run set. Like they're all about stopping the run, especially against the Bears. Fair enough. But they're going to get downhill and under center, play action pass. And now what happens, Barnes has to chase the crosser. And when he chases the crosser, I'll take it back so you can follow Barnes 55. He is of the circled. He is the one on the right. As soon as he figures out, mistake, he finds that crosser chase underneath, and all of a sudden Justin Fields is out the gate because they don't want to play spy against him. And again, all I'm saying is, we went through this phase of Kaepernick shows up. He's not even the first one. Like Mike Vick could do everything. They didn't run this kind of offense for him. But I feel like Kaepernick was the first option guy who just blew up. And it was like, if it's not open, they're just going to run. And then it became like a thing. Oh, we don't want to hit the quarterback. And it takes away from how good he is throwing the ball, blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, it's such a weapon. So don't be Jordan Love. Like, don't be afraid to just cook it downfield for 15 if they're not going to spy you on these key passes. And the linebacker is going to turn his back and run for the deep crosser. Like, go ahead and take it. Well, I mean, we love it. We absolutely love it. You see the leverage that they have. 23, they're playing man now. They're playing a man match concept on the bottom. And 23 has to cover all the way across. They're running the exact same play to the other side. Okay, so instead of running zone now, they're running zone on the front side, but they're playing backside match. He comes all the way across, tries to make this play. And again, they're a lot of success, Justin Fields, on just extending the pocket, getting off the spot, and being able to flip your hips, make some throws, but really doing it free of that pass rush that we know is going to be coming. I would have loved to see this matchup, and I made this thing, and I found out that Musgrave's not going to be in. But you look at like the Iowa, Oregon State college tight end versus linebacker, one of the best receiving tight ends versus the award-winning linebacker from Iowa. And right now, I think this is Cole Kmet that's on him, and he just gets absolutely walked right now. I mean, there's all kinds of nonsense right there, right? No, they can't. He has a great recovery speed, but you see opportunities there. Tucker Kraft, man, he's one of those guys that maybe he doesn't have the shifty elusiveness, but certainly proved last week that he's got some good feet on him and does have some speed and does have some ability to separate. So whether it's him or we put somebody else there, like you got to start looking at some of these matchups when they go to base defense and going, I feel pretty good about getting that guy in space. And then is this the week? Is this the week that we connect on the deep pass? Now, they ran this twice. Once for a touchdown, once they didn't score. But they got twins up top. And you see that receiver on the 26-yard line hash mark. He's got a cross face. I mean, because you're trying to create all this space for the outside player. Right? You got to cross face and create all that space, and then they just got to make some throws. Very, very simple. And that's Jordan Love is going to have that opportunity. They're going to be in the right coverage. They're going to have the right play call, just like they did last week, whether it's early or late, and you got to be able to make the play. Now you see the exact same touchdown, same route up top, They run a crosser on the bottom, and what that does really is it drags that safety to the right hash, to the near hash for us, and leaves all that space up top for, I think that's DJ Moore. He just steps out, launches it, little separation. That's all you need. I mean, the game isn't that difficult, right? It's a simple game. We try to make it. We try to talk about schemes and whatnot. It's about guys executing what's on the call sheet as well as possible. What are the problems that lie for this defense? There's really, I want to talk about two. I could talk about four of them if I wanted. But first is this guy, man. Aiden Hutchinson is as advertised. Could have very easily been the number one pick in the draft last year. He is a phenomenal player. Just tons of energy. He's one of those guys that's, at some point he's going to have like a 17 sack year, but he's going to be one of those guys where like you get out of the game and you're like, man, I just played a really hard, like that was a hard game to play. He's nonstop action. He's more of a traditional, like he's got Max Crosby's energy, but not that kind of movement. He's a different build. He's got maybe not as refined as like a TJ Watt. Like he's still developing into what he wants to be. Does have some very good passers. Does have a spin. Does have a cross chop. Does have a stab. Does have a bull. Really, really, really good player though. And he doesn't always get his guy. I don't know what his numbers are this year, but he's like every time you watch him, like, man, you got to account for that guy. He's definitely a game plan guy right now for me. And this, I talked about Akeem McNeil. This guy is, ever since we played him, man, he's just absolutely, that's problems, right? That happens once to the guard early, and you're thinking about it the rest of the day. That happens once to the quarterback early, you might be thinking about that the rest of the day. And then you come back, rip inside, spin out. The quarterback's got to get rid of the ball, but hey, another sack for the kid. Just playing really well. Now, one thing you always got to think about, who the opponent is. You got to put context to everything you do. If you start citing me off some PFF numbers, oh, it was a PFF, I could care less because you got to have context. Why? Because these are the Bears, okay? And only the Bears will pull the center, the left guard, and the left tackle and leave the defensive tackle alone. Nobody does that because it's stupid, okay? Nobody does it because it's very, very dumb. Now, I think this is Cole Kmet. I want this taken out of the league. Everyone complains about safety. We're talking about how players aren't as good as they used to be and safety issues, and we're worried about the helmets. Look at this. Sorry. I mean, this is the sorriest looking block I've ever seen. Are you? He literally alligator rolls out of the way. I think I got one more here. It's a sad sight. Here's a lot of firsts this year. Yeah, this is I go back to this. I mean, we've seen a lot of firsts this year as far as we have some palms up plays this year. I've never seen this. You can't even even in high school, I'm trying to think, when you used to pull the entire backside of your line, including the center, and just leave the defensive tackle to go. I mean, what kind of communication do you have? Like who's wrong there? Someone's got to stay in a party, right? Is it the tackle? Is he supposed to cut him off? Is it the defense? Is it the guard? Is he supposed to block back? Is the center? I mean, so where's the communication there for the Bears? That is, I mean, it's like if you lost to that team now, and you're watching film, and you got like a surly old line coach. He's in the back, like smacking his gum or his like nicotine patch or whatever. We lost to a bunch of guys who pulled 3 on this effing play. You know what I mean? Unbelievable. Hey, there he is. Thanksgiving. Thankful we had that guy, man. Just real simple. Look how he butts up Aiden Hutchinson here. 1, 2. Boom. Punch and extend. Look at that. What a unit. God, so good. So good.